Are we recording?
Yes.
Hello, how are you? We are here. If you watched my last video, thank you so much. I did the baby daddy 2024 with moms and dads. Here's a dad. We got a dad with us today. Because I know that you're there, but I feel better talking to somebody. You know what I mean? I do. So I got an anonymous question I want to ask him. Now, our words are spells, right? Words are powerful, right?
Hmm.
Even if you use them in an everyday thing, like writing, or I just opened the video and just said hi, with my
Hmm.
mom and dad. It's word I'm talking, right? So it just depends. But I have a question. I'm gonna ask you one way. If you don't feel comfortable with the question, you
Hmm.
don't have to answer it. But I guess it's two questions, but means the same.
Okay.
So okay. I'm gonna ask now, why would a man turn his back on his child? Why would a man turn his back on his child? That's the question.
Well,
And it could be this, you could give three answers just to make for the video, just to,
I'm gonna
and he
say
doesn't know these questions either because I wanted to start talking about baby dad, and he's a dad, and yeah, so yeah.
I don't see no reason why a man would turn his back on his child if he's a man and he's a dad. Why would you turn your back on your child? Because
Reason one.
one, because love for one.
So you would turn your back on your
No, I
child?
say I don't see why they would turn their back. Yeah, as a dad and a man. So if a person was to turn their back on their child, it's one because he having issues with the mother.
Okay.
Secondly, because he didn't want a child in the first place. And if I had to go with a third one, I would say running from child support. But in my opinion, all of those is wrong. If you love your children, it shouldn't matter.
Okay. So that's the answer that you're saying. Okay. So the question was, why would a man turn his back on a child? And he put issues with the mother. Number one, issues with the mother. Number two is didn't want a child in the first place. That's number two. And then number three, running from child support. So, wow. Okay. Okay, that's one question. Those are the answers. Got the answers. So the second question would be three reasons why a man may be turned off to his baby's mother.
Hmm.
So that's three reasons.
One,
That's the second question. Three reasons why a man would be turned off to his baby's mother. Because
one,
remember, he already had the baby already. So baby's mother, it's not just a girl on the street. It's the baby's mother.
number one, disrespectful.
Okay.
Some of these women are very disrespectful.
So,
And
okay. So the
that's
question is why many
why would he be turned
would
off?
turned off to their baby's mother. Okay, disrespect.
Hmm.
Disrespect. Okay, so is she your daughter? Does she have to respect you? What do you mean, disrespect?
Well, disrespectful in the words of how they treat you and things that they say to you, because one, they want to control you, or two, they feel like they're supposed to have their way.
Now, can have their way. What do you mean? So you would want to give somebody their way if they're in a relationship. You do want to give
Okay,
them their way.
but to a degree, you want to give them their way because here's the thing: as a couple,
Have their
you want
way.
to, as a man, you want to let that woman have. You want to do for your woman. That's letting her have her way to a
Okay.
certain degree.
Right.
But when they feel like you just supposed to do this, that, and the third, and they don't have to put no forth, no effort, and nothing, that's not right.
Okay. So the disrespect. So that
Disrespect.
is disrespect to you.
Mm-hmm.
So number two, the question is, why would a man be turned off to his baby's mother?
Uh, number two
That was a spider.
was
Hmm.
uh uh hmm. I'll say disrespect was one. So two, I could say possibly
See, so you got
he
to
did
think about it.
yeah, it's some things to think about. I mean, so maybe he didn't like her in the beginning, and and he got her pregnant. I don't
Okay,
know.
he
I'm
didn't like her
speculating.
in the beginning. I'm
But he
just
got her
writing down.
pregnant. He got
He
her
did
pregnant.
not like her in the beginning.
Meaning,
Okay.
let me clarify that.
He did not like her in the beginning.
He didn't like her. He didn't want. I ain't gonna say he didn't like her. He wasn't choosing to be in a relationship with her. They was just having sex, and a baby came out of it.
So he wanted to please himself.
They both were trying to please each other.
No, he wanted to please himself. Is that valid?
No, they both want to please each other.
But it's your question. She's not in it. The question is, why would a man be turned off to his baby's mother? He did not like her in the beginning. So he wanted to please himself. Yeah, because you said he didn't like her in the beginning.
That's why I say clarify too.
Okay, let's clarify.
I'm clarifying what I mean by didn't like her because I think that's a harsher way to put it, just saying that he didn't like her. Because he had to like her to a certain degree to want to have sex with her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that he wasn't choosing to be in a relationship with her. They was having sex. They casual
But
sex.
sex is a relationship. It's just a bump and grind.
It's basically
bump and grind, and I'll see you later. We'll get your behind out of here.
It's a mutual ground of a partner.
Okay, so the question was,
relationship.
Why would a man be turned off to his baby's mother?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like her in the beginning. He wanted to please himself.
And
it wasn't, no, because that's what you said. And then
I said
he didn't like her. So he liked her for...
He didn't want a relationship with her. Put it like that.
So that's why he was turned off, because he didn't want a relationship.
He didn't want a relationship, and then a baby came out of it. So he's either choosing to be there to take care of the baby, but he don't want to be in a relationship.
And then the third one, why would a man be turned off to his baby's mother?
To his baby's mother. Because possibly,
Well, being that you're taking a long time to think about it, it's not that many reasons then.
It's not that many reasons.
It's not. It's not that many reasons.
So it shouldn't be, in retrospect, you shouldn't be turned off by your baby's mother, not unless you got that number one thing. She's very disrespectful. That's the only thing I can say.
So the disrespect, you would say, the disrespect.
It's top dog.
So it's the talking, like I said, the words, what you say.
What you say, because words are powerful.
The talking. Okay, because she's not, when you say the talking, because she's not stroking you and what you want to say, what do you mean the talking? Because it doesn't agree with what you want most of the time, or what's the talking?
For some people, it's that, But let's give some examples. For example, let's give some examples. Let's say you have a baby mother that's always disagreeable with everything you're saying.
As far as the baby, because we're on the baby. As far as the baby, or
anything.
So disagreeable. Maybe the third one can be disagreeable. I'm turned off because she's disagreeable. You don't agree.
Mm-hmm. Everything you say is always a negative. It's always a negative. If she said it is okay, but if you say it's disagreeable, then she'll come back 2 weeks later with the same thing, and it's all right.
Wow, that sounds like spiteful stuff.
So that's what a lot of it be.
Yeah, right. Because there's not that many reasons. I mean, and then you did hesitate a couple times. Like, well, I had to think. Like, so it's not like she did this, this. So yeah. Okay.
So if I had to put myself in that square, if that's my baby's mom, my children's mother, we maybe not be in a relationship. We may be in a relationship. I'm gonna have respect for you as long as you have that same respect for me.
But if they don't have that respect for you, do you go off kill and don't have respect for them? Or do you keep your...
I keep my end of the bargain and do what I'm supposed to do as a father.
So it's a bargain, that word.
Yeah.
So it's transactional. Yeah. It's a bargain.
Yeah. Sort of.
But see, the baby is caught in this pod.
Right.
The baby's caught in the pod of the bargaining and see.
True.
So,
and it might not be... Like, for my example, if I have a disagreeable baby mother who's very disrespectful, I'm not going to hang in a relationship with her to try to make the things right with the baby. I'm just going to do what my part I'm supposed to do for the baby. Like, for example, buying clothes, paying my child support, spending time. But see, that's where the
That's the
disrespect.
main thing, spending time.
So that's where the disrespect come in at, because these women want to. A lot of these women want to control. So they.
But when you say control, what do you mean? Because she has control over the baby. She got
Exactly.
the right. So it's okay
she
for her to control
controlling
it
you
that way.
with the baby. She know that you want to be in the baby's life, but you gotta wait. You get him when I say you can get him,
Well,
or
isn't
you
that gonna
can't
be-
have him.
Well, should she be controllless? She had the baby. She had enough control to have the baby. So now she should be now no control.
It takes
just
two.
let him
No.
let him do.
No, we supposed to be able to communicate.
So when you say she tries to take control,
Taking control meaning, okay, if I say, well, I want to get my son next week, nigga, fuck you. I ain't giving you shit. Where did that come from?
Something that happened before the question was asked.
Usually that's how it is.
Something that happened. It's not like she woke up out the bed like a robot and said.
Some of them was like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we're talking about normal people right now. We're talking about this.
Ain't no normal people with situations like that. You would think. I thought so, but I read into a lot of situations. Not even my situation I've seen that's like that.
Right. So, when you
put it
say
like
control, because
everybody can be irrational, but when it comes to a mother and father and a child, and the father's trying to be there, the woman is more irrational. But then you have other situations where there's the mother.
Okay, what does irrational mean? What do you mean irrational? She's not thinking properly?
No, she don't want to be rational about us trying to deal with the children as a unit. You want to be in control of how I do things.
So how about if you say, could I get my son? And she says, no, you can't get him. So you could just compromise on a date that you could get him.
Right.
That would be something.
That
would help. Instead of you saying she wants to take control, she just maybe not that day. Or is it man? Maybe it's the alpha. Don't tell me no, girl. Don't tell me no, woman.
And that's what I want.
It's my baby.
You got guys like that too. So, like I said, it's irrational on both ends. It just depends on what the parties, who the parties is, how they move with each other. If one wants to have power here, the other one wants to have power. It's a lot of things that takes involved in that.
Well, I feel like a man is very much needed in the baby stuff, and he had the power to inject. So if he has the power for that strongness, he got to have the power for taking care of stuff too.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Let's say, okay, you got this couple. They had a baby together. They was together. They split or whatever. And she know this father's trying to be in his baby's life and do the right thing. And like you said, compromise. Let's say they compromise on a date, right?
A date for what?
To pick the baby up.
Okay. They compromise on a date, right?
The father picked the baby up. And he's like, all right, well, I'll be over there. Do you need anything before I come? She say something about needs for her or more, which it ain't a big deal. But let's say,
give an example.
Can you bring me some cigarettes on the way back?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other part of that. Let's say she said, well, bring the baby some Pampers. Okay, I got the Pampers. I got this. But then when you get over there, everything is all right. Until that man say one word out of his mouth that she just don't like. Now, he can't take the baby. He can't do this. Get out my house. I get that man has just as much rights to the baby.
The man will say one word.
Say one word out of his mouth.
One word out of his mouth, like
let's
disagreeable.
That's very disagreeable.
Is it disagreeable? So she'll say something out of her mouth that's disagreeable to you. To her, it's disagreeable to her. Right. So therefore, the whole deal is over.
Right. So
and we know that.
Let's go back to it. I brought the Pampers, right? But now I show up. We having a good conversation. Well, you think you can go get me some cigarettes? Nah, I ain't trying to buy no cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. So why should I buy? I don't want to buy no cigarettes.
Is she trying to give you the money for the cigarettes?
No.
Okay, so there's no relationship.
Even if so, let's say she did. Let's say she was. But I just don't feel like going to get no cigarettes. I came over here to pick up my son.
So you have no connection to her, pretty much.
Other than we get along.
But see, I would not ask. I'm not a female like that. I mean, make some comment. I'm not a female like that. I would not. I take care of my needs. Mm-hmm. I take care of my child. I'm not even the type of woman that expects you to buy my son a hamburger just because you came over and bought me one. I'm just not like that. But a lot of people are, and I guess it's respect. Like I had good, great stepdad. But half of the things my stepdad did, I'm not doing for another person's child. Am I wrong? You bumped and grind, and I feel like I don't have anything to do with that. I'm not. That's how I feel. I'm a female, and I just feel like, when you and Sally was bumping and grinding, I didn't have nothing to do with that. So now you trying to say I got to take care of you and Sally's baby just because I got a couple of girls going on, and mine are not even big. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know what I mean? Just because I got a couple of girls going on and maybe got a little junk in the trunk, I have to be obligated, if I love you, to do for your children, just because society said you's a lady if you don't do it, and I just feel differently.
It's a moral thing for me. Like what I was telling you about earlier, like my daughter, and I said my daughters. One is not my biological,
right?
And guess
now,
what?
Do you think a biological connection is necessary? Or does it matter?
I don't think it matters. It depends on if you love the child or not.
I think it matters. I think it matters. Biological connection matters. It makes you feel validated. It makes you, even if you're an adult and you're sitting up with your 40 or whatever, and people start talking about relationships and family members. If your dad beats you in the corner every friggin' night, if he beats you in the corner every friggin' night, you might not stand up and say that, but it means something. So the biological connection, whether you knew your mom or dad, I think that means a lot. It's not just. I had a good stepfather, and I still longed. And he asked me. He called me. What you want to know this for? Because innately, it's my birthright. It's my birthright.
Right. Okay. You mean in that.
But if you're standing up alpha, I did this and I did that. That's all money stuff. How about how the person feels? There's people that have several dads and moms, but who stand up? Who is the real? You know what I'm Remember that show? Who is the real? It has something to do with it. Like, we could take a picture all day long, and if somebody duplicates our picture, it's nothing like the real. Like, we're here right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, see, a lot that gets thrown around. But I'm glad that, I wanted to ask somebody some questions.
Like you said, the biological part of it, right? I'm not her biological dad, but she's known me from dad from a long list of
Would she
years.
call you dad?
She called me dad.
See, I didn't call my stepdad dad. I called him James. And then when my brothers came along, out of the marriage, they started calling him James too, which I thought that was so unfair. Because really, they should have been calling him dad. But because you get married at a wedlock, right? If you marry a woman, maybe you're married a man, they already have children, so they call you Lena or Helen. You know what I'm saying? When your name should be Mommie, because that's the setting you're in. But everybody don't believe in that.
Right.
So I called him James and my brother, and then when they came along, they called him James.
Southern people, it's gonna be that, because you either dad, mom, granddad, grandma, big daddy, big mama. That's what you were.
So who's Big Mama and Big Daddy? Grandpa?
That's grandpa and grandma.
See, we didn't do that. That was country to us. Grandma, grandpa, Big
that's
Daddy.
What we was from the country.
Big Dad. See, not me. I was New Jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's your aunt,
So it's
your
different.
uncle.
Sometimes
It's real.
it's a
Or you say the
demographic,
uncle
too.
when you're trying to sneak. That's Uncle Fred when you know Fred is in your bed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. So, but we don't say a Big Mama and all that. Big Mama house and... No.
That's random down there. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's
everybody
good.
say Big Mama, they know who Big Mama is. You know.
So I don't like stuff either where everybody know everybody either. I mean, how could you learn?
You learn a lot when everybody know everybody.
How? About each other's business. I'm talking about in the world.
You
Like,
learn
how
a
do you
lot.
learn?
You
How?
learn a lot, because here's the thing.
Well,
When you got people that's close like that, and you got people that's close here like that, but it's a different thing. Like down south, how we was growing up, everybody knew each other's business and stuff like that. But everybody, like say for instance, if
everybody knew everybody's business
so
right
check
there.
Hold on. So like let's say my granddaddy stepped out on my grandmama and made a baby somewhere. Everybody knew about it, but nobody talks about it because that's taboo.
And that is the problem with the. That's what
it is a problem.
I'm so happy I got on this video, and that's
how
why a
bad?
lot of people don't know their biological parents, because the adults sneaking in the cut doing stuff, thinking that they hiding stuff from Mary Lou and all that. When Mary Lou blow up in your face and don't want to be, that's what I'm saying. We got to get off of this. You can sneak all you want, but at least say something, even if it's bad. Don't act like.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Or don't act like, I don't know who he is, and I don't know. What are you, stupid now? I mean, it makes kids think when you get together. You know what I mean? And start talking. Come on, we got to just stop this. If your grandma watching, and she don't. You got to cut that. You got to mind your business and let people start living. You know what I mean? Seriously, for who they I'm just speaking for myself. Like, how dare you? How dare you violate me because you don't like somebody that really has a right to know me? It's just like, I understand the protection and love, but you gotta mind your business to let people grow. You know what I mean? To let people just, what do you say when your mind is
You need to let your
growing?
mind grow. You gotta let your mind grow.
Yeah, when your mind is growing, you keep going. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're stagnant. That's why I said about the country. How do they learn? Me learning about Peggy screwing Larry, I don't care nothing about that.
I'm gonna tell you
You
like
know what I
this.
mean? That ain't helping me
I'm gonna tell
grow.
you on straight up real stuff. It's they learning. Believe me. I see in the country more people going to college or doing stuff and getting degrees than I see people up this way.
Oh, okay.
So they learning, and they learning from each other, and they learning from the communities. They learning in school. You got, and down there, your schools are less for us teaching. The teachers they teach, but they're not getting everything that we would get up this way. But they get the knowledge and the people that's
Like the
around them,
math, English,
everything
you're
right.
saying like that.
So, but they grasp it better because of the people that's teaching them. These teachers they got nowadays, they
So
there
they
for a
know them in a
paycheck.
personal way. Is what
Yeah,
you're saying? Okay, so
yeah.
yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe I come
everybody's
from
pretty much like family when you're down there.
Yeah,
Even though you're
yeah.
not family, everybody know each other. You're gonna be grasped to each other just like family.
Yeah. Now I had that in my neighborhood growing up. Like we was like family. But as far as in school, it was like you go to school, you get your
Y'all
books out.
segregated.
Yeah, no, not segregated, but
Okay.
in different classrooms. But it ain't no family shit. This is get your books out, get your papers out. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we family. I know you. No, sit your ass down, do your work, and and they might pop the ruler on that, but bah, bah, bah. It wasn't like
Yeah, that's
no.
what they
It's like
did.
don't play with me. I ain't your friend.
Right.
You know
And
what I mean? In school.
that's basically what it was there. It's like, you know my grandmother, they'll pop that ruler because here's the thing. You fuck up in school, they was allowed to fuck you up. And then after they fucked you up, they told your grandmother she fucked you up. Your grandmother told your dad, then he fucked you
See,
up.
and all that fuck up is wrong.
It is.
All that is wrong
but,
too.
but it is wrong. But it gets the message across to that youngster.
Fear,
And guess
fear
what?
based, fear based.
It's
And
fear-based,
and that
and I
fear,
don't agree
and
with the
that,
fear-based
and that
part
fear
of it.
goes all the way to you don't even want
Learning.
to ask
You
who
don't-
your
you
mama
scared
and
to ask.
daddy
You scared to
is
ask some
because
little thing.
I might get my ass beat for asking about the truth and who I am and my birthright. That right there got to stop. That's my thing.
Okay.
That's this. But the sickening. But you could ask me a question. Ask me anything while we're on the video. This is Tone. Remember Tone? You remember Tone? I said I want him to do a video because he's a single dad. He has custody of his boys now, and his boys are 18 and 7. I mean, they're tall, like handsome, and just young, but I'm serious. They're like good.
Just like they pappy.
No, they're
So-
tall. A little resemblance, but they got their own uniqueness. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and he's been through different things. That's why I said I'm gonna spring a question on him, because it's maybe I'm gonna start going around to interviews asking different people. But a lot of people say that they don't like their baby's father, they don't like their baby's mother, and I get the don't like part. But then that's when my little girl creeps in, like, well, damn, if you don't like everything, then how am I supposed to? You can't, you know what I mean? Everybody is on the same wave of don't let me know nothing
Right.
when you don't know your biological connection.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of biological connection, hello?
Yeah.
Who's calling? Okay. All right, yeah, me and Toner's talking like family talk and all that. And then you're on the phone. And I was doing a video too. Are you on your way?
No, not right now. I gotta go stop and do something real quick.
Okay. All right, well, I'll see you when you get here. Okay. But anyway, I'm not going to make this video too long. I just wanted to come and do like a little comment. Ask me a question. That's what it is. Ask me something. Ask me anything about baby's mother, biological, just any kind of,
Okay.
like biological stuff mainly. I'm not no
Okay.
expert relationship stuff, but
Right.
the biological thing I'm on that
Okay.
a lot.
Like you said, the biological,
Because
it matters. Let's say, let's say that you did have a guy, he already had kids, or whatever, and y'all decide y'all want to get married, right? Just follow me now for a second. Y'all decide y'all want to get married, so he's gonna renovate his house out, or he's gonna have you renovate your house out, come move with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's just y'all two in the house. You got a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
son.
Mm-hmm.
He got maybe two sons or a daughter and a son, right?
Okay.
And everybody get to know each other. Y'all get married. Everybody knows each other. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So now that you moved in, and of course your daughter and son is gonna wanna. They probably on their own, and they probably gonna wanna come over and visit. And like he stays with you, your son
My
stays
son,
with you.
yes.
So do you? I mean, so you moving in with him. That's gonna be his stepson, right? So to speak. I mean, through the law, it's stepson.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the titles.
So now the titles. So, do you think it's right if you move in, and you want to move in with him, you move in with him, your son move in with him? Do you think it would be wrong for him to say, well, hey, I don't have to do for him. His dad's, say if Brian was still around, his dad's supposed to do for him. You think that's right for him to say that, or you think it would be right for him because you married this woman, all her packages become your packages,
Right.
and it's supposed to be vice versa.
So what is
his
the
packages
question?
become your package. Do you think it's wrong? But if you think it would be wrong for him to say, well, I can't do anything. I'm not going to do anything for him because he has his own dad.
Yeah, but most people wouldn't come out and say that.
No, I'm just, I know you're
Yeah,
not going to say
yeah,
that.
most people
but
are not gonna say that.
The actions will show.
See, that happened to me. There was some kind of monster. Well, he was a monster animal that I used to date back in the day. And he said that straight to me. He was like, and that's because my baby's father tried to beat him up. You know, that kind of thing. So he was angry. He's like, yeah, it ain't right for me. I mean, you was having sex with him. It ain't right for me to pay for your, for kids. But he didn't say it directly to me. He was talking indirectly. Indirectly, and then he wasn't buying nothing. Right? He wasn't buying her nothing.
Right.
So you're right.
So do you think that's right or wrong?
I think it's absolutely personally up to the person. Because if I had a baby, damn it, what the hell I'm trying to say? Well, damn, when I meet a man, if he can't help me with my kids, I don't want to be bothered. And that's how some people are, but I'm not.
About to get
because it doesn't matter if I'm getting ready to marry him or getting ready to
was
wed
the
him
question.
or in the bed with him.
That was
It
the
doesn't
question.
matter.
If you married to this man, do you think it's right or wrong?
That's going to be discussed before marriage.
Right.
Right?
So,
I think that it's personal. Like I said, it's right. He don't have to do a damn thing for my kid. That's not why I got with him.
He wouldn't have to.
That's not why I got with him.
Okay.
So that's how I look at it. That's not why I got with you. I didn't get with you so you could do for my kid.
No, but
if you choose to do, it's a plus. Now, if you put your hands on my kid or you're blatantly acting like you don't like my kid, I definitely don't like you.
Okay.
But to have a man come in my life and I'm already thinking, well, he gonna do this for my kid, I think that is kind of delusional, and I think it's selfish, and I think that's disrespectful.
You think so?
Yes.
You think that's selfish?
I think if I had a stepdad, he knew exactly what he was getting into. My mother, she had 2 children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and
right,
he married your mom, so therefore he did for y'all because
right on the premise that's how they agreed exactly.
That's how it goes.
But if he didn't want, you know what I mean? People probably was talking about my mom, ready-made family. You know how many slurs me and my brothers used to hear?
Are they in a marriage?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the people that was talking and stuff.
Absolutely,
they wasn't in a marriage.
absolutely.
So it ain't none of their goddamn business.
And it ain't none of no grandmother's business. It ain't nobody's grandmother business or their mother
Exactly.
business
It's
to get involved with somebody just because you don't like their damn baby daddy. That's wrong too. You see what I'm saying? All of this shit is wrong.
Right. Exactly.
So it's the same thing. It's wrong. Do I think if I get with a man and he don't want to do for my son or me and my that's going to come up before the marriage, right? It's going to show before the marriage. So if he act like he don't want to do nothing, as long as he's not disrespecting my son, acting like he don't like my son, and I see the body language like he don't like my son, he's done. But just because he's not coming out the pocket buying my son tennis shoes and all of that, that's not a reason for me to not like him, because that's not why I got with him. I didn't get with him to take care of my kids. If you need, they got welfare and food stamps out here, WIC and all of that for that. That's my opinion as a female.
Okay. Let me say this.
But it's a plus. Let me say,
okay,
when I see you, okay, I asked you too.
So I got another
but no,
question.
I just,
it's still on the same basis.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
okay.
I'm not angry at him.
Right.
No, I'm not.
So let's say that y'all got married, your son moved in, and he's not.
You said we got married and my son moved in, so he wasn't with me.
Your son came in with you.
Okay, so
yeah, so he's in with you. Y'all married, so your son is in the house with you, with him, at his house, right?
Okay.
And
At his house. Where were we all?
It's y'all's house, basically, because you got a house, he had a house.
Okay.
You're renting your house out now because you moved. Y'all got married, you moved in the house.
Okay,
with
now
him.
we make sense. Okay,
That's
so
what I was
me
saying.
and my husband live together, and the son comes.
And
to
the son is living there too.
The son. Okay.
So that's what I was saying, as far as him doing the thing for him. I feel like that he's supposed to do for him because it comes as a package deal.
He's supposed to do for him what? He moves in with me. He's grown then now, right?
Yeah.
The son is grown.
He
See,
ain't grown yet, though. Let's say he ain't grown yet.
So what needs he probably working if he's older? I mean, to my whole thing with me is that's if you want to. That's
Okay.
like a female.
Now,
Just because,
okay, now the question since you said that, you still holding on to that. So the question is, do you think that marriage would last long by it being like that? Or you think any type of something would come into play where y'all kind of be arguing back and forth?
because you're not doing it for my kid.
Right. You say, I mean, I know, sure.
So okay, so wait, what's the question?
Your son is in the household, okay? He got his own room and everything. And let's say he's 10 years old. He can't work.
Okay.
He's a young man. He's a young
Okay.
man.
So we're changing up the scene now.
Right.
You marry a lady that has a child.
I married a lady that has a child.
He's 10.
He's 10.
Okay.
So now I'm going to ask, I'll go back to that second question. I'm going back to the first question. So now that we use a 10-year-old, do you think it's right? Do you think it's right for that man to say, no, I'm not taking care of him because he has a dad and he's 10 years old? Or should it be a package deal?
I don't think that should be something that's discussed. I think that should be something that is acted upon. Because if they're already living in the house and he's 10,
of course he's
if
going
the
to do
man's
stuff
paying
for me.
bills,
He's putting food in there,
then he's
providing.
already providing, period, without
Exactly.
even saying anything. But to say, well, I ain't doing nothing for your kid and all, that right there is signifying that I do not want to do this.
I'm not
and
gonna-
the average person and any kind of man with a sense, he wouldn't even court that.
Exactly.
Don't even call her.
So guess
what are you
what?
doing? You want to get sex or whatever? Come on now.
Exactly. So
But no, you don't have to do nothing, and she ain't
got
got to do nothing for you either. So there you go.
There you go. So that would cause tension in a relationship, and
It wouldn't cause tension in a relationship.
think
It
so.
flat out says that you're not
I think so.
compatible. That's what it says. We getting some booty from each other, and that's it. That's what that says. So there is no relationship.
Right.
We out of here. Before I get upset. If I get attitude. These freaking men, because they always trying to run scam and all that.
I told you not saying about these women. I told you. So,
I can't stand these motherfuckers. But yeah, biological connection.